Hello and welcome to my first episode of functional programming in JavaScript. Today we're going to have a look at the map function, which is a function on the array object. Okay, let's get started. In this example, we're going to have a look at how the map function can be used to transform this user's array into an array that just contains the user's name and a string. Before we start using the map array, we're going to do exactly the same thing, except we'll use a for loop. So that we can compare how they differ. So I've written this for loop earlier. I'll just paste it in now, and this is what it looks like. So first of all, we define a names array. We loop over each of the items in the users array, and we push the name into it. So if we run this code, it should do exactly what we want it to, and it does. As you can see, it creates a new array with each of the users' name in it. Now let's have a look at how we could do this with the map function. So I'm going to comment this out. We'll create a new variable to hold the names in it, and we will call users.map. Now the map function is a function on the array object, which means that anything that's an array you can call map on. Map itself is a higher order function, and what that means is that it expects a function as an argument. So let's do that. So this is an ES6 arrow function. The way map works is that it will call this secondary function for each item that there is in the array, and the secondary function will receive a single argument, which is the item in the array that it's currently looking at. So in this case, we'll call it user, because each item in the users array is a user. And whatever this function returns will be what is placed in the new names variable that we just created. So let's start by returning the user's name. Now, if I've not made any typos, this should work. So let's try that again. Perfect. Okay, so there's nothing particularly crazy happening here, and in fact we can make it a little bit simpler. With ES6 arrow functions, if the body of your function fits on a single line, then we can shorten this up a little bit. So let's have a look at how that's done. Okay. Because of the fact that it does fit on one line, we can omit the curly braces and the return statement, and whatever's on the right hand side of this arrow is implicitly returned. So in this case, this does exactly the same thing as it used to. Let's run that just to prove. Cool. Okay, if you compare these two functions now, you can see that the second function on line 13 using map is a hell of a lot shorter. This function is actually 89 characters, whereas the same thing using map is 43. So that is half as long as the original function. And less code means less bugs. So that wraps up this short tutorial on how to use the map function. In the next episode, we're going to take a look at the filter function, which is fairly similar, except instead of transforming elements in an array, it allows us to filter them out. See you next time.